Under the shade of a banyan tree, Buddha sat with his disciples, radiating calm and wisdom in every breath. A merchant named Sudatta approached, bowing deeply, his embroidered garments reflecting his vast wealth and worldly achievements. "Blessed One," Sudatta began, his voice laced with unease, "I possess great riches but cannot escape a restless heart." Buddha turned his serene gaze upon Sudatta, his compassionate eyes reflecting the depth of understanding and timeless wisdom. "Sudatta," Buddha spoke gently, "wealth may fill coffers, but it cannot quench the thirst of a yearning soul." Sudatta lowered his head, nodding slightly, as if acknowledging the truth of Buddha's words without yet comprehending their depth. "I save diligently," Sudatta explained, fearing the uncertainties of the future. "Yet my heart remains heavy." "Peace elusive," Buddha gestured to the sky above, where clouds gathered, their movements silent yet powerful, a metaphor unfolding before them. "Like these clouds," Buddha said, "our fears cast shadows over our minds, obscuring the light of contentment within us." He paused, allowing the words to settle, his presence alone a balm for the anxious merchant's troubled spirit. "Saving is wise," Buddha continued, "but saving without purpose or understanding becomes a chain binding the heart in endless worry." Sudatta looked at Buddha intently, his furrowed brow reflecting his earnest desire to grasp the profound teaching offered. "Imagine a man," Buddha said, "hoarding water in a jar, believing it ensures safety while neglecting the source. The spring." The disciples leaned closer, captivated by the simplicity and depth of the imagery woven into Buddha's teaching. "The jar," Buddha explained, "symbolizes material wealth. The spring is wisdom, compassion, and generosity, the true sources of inner security." Buddha said, "Wealth, like a shadow, is impermanent. Chasing it leads to suffering, as attachment breeds fear and dissatisfaction." "Sudatta," Buddha replied, "release comes not from force, but from insight. Begin by sharing what you have with those in need." The merchant said proudly, "Master, I have accumulated great riches through hard work. Surely, this is a sign of my success?" Buddha looked at him kindly and asked, "Do your riches bring you peace? Or do they increase your worries and fears?" The merchant hesitated, then admitted, "I fear losing what I have, and I often feel anxious despite having more than I need." Buddha said, "Wealth is like water in the palm of your hand. The more you grasp it, the quicker it escapes. Fear diminishes," Buddha said, "when wisdom grows. Contemplate impermanence." Sudatta, "Realize that clinging only amplifies the very loss we dread." Sudatta nodded slowly, his mind piecing together the intricate tapestry of insight Buddha was weaving with his compassionate words. "Generosity," Buddha added, "is not merely giving material wealth. It is cultivating a spirit of love, kindness, and shared humanity." A young disciple beside Buddha whispered softly to another. These teachings resonate deeply, crossing boundaries of caste, trade, and fortune. The crisp morning air carried the melodies of birds, merging harmoniously with the whispers of swaying bamboo leaves. "My dear disciples," Buddha said, his voice tender yet profound, "true prosperity demands harmony among all, transcending divisions and conflicts." Sudatta inhaled deeply, as if breathing in not air, but the very essence of a newfound purpose and understanding. "I understand." "Blessed One," Sudatta said, his voice firm with resolve, "I will transform my wealth into tools of compassion." Each village, consumed by greed, sought to claim the river's bounty solely for itself, deepening the chasm of animosity. One day, a wandering monk passed through this land, observing the strife that turned fertile lands into barren despair. Sudatta stood, bowing deeply, his posture not of mere formality but of genuine reverence for the wisdom he had received. "Go forth, Sudatta," Buddha said, and may your actions inspire others to embrace the true wealth of compassion and contentment. The merchant departed, his steps lighter, as if he carried not burdens but the seeds of a profound transformation within. The disciples turned to Buddha, their faces lit with awe, the echo of his teachings lingering like an eternal resonance. Buddha, one disciple asked, how can we guide others who are blinded by attachment, as Sudatta was before today? Buddha gazed at the disciple, his eyes a reflection of infinite patience and the enduring truth of his teachings. Teach by example, Buddha said, for words touch the mind, but actions rooted in compassion transform hearts deeply and permanently. The land was barren, crops wilted in the fields, and the villagers' faces were etched with despair and silent desperation. Buddha walked among them, observing the fear and tension as each clung tightly to what little they had managed to preserve. The sun dipped below the horizon, its fading light a metaphor for the impermanence Buddha so often spoke of wisely. Buddha, another disciple asked, can Sudatta truly find peace, even after years of attachment to wealth and material possessions? Buddha replied softly, the path is open to all who walk it sincerely, regardless of where they begin their journey. A villager spoke up, Master, we have nothing to give. Each family barely survives. Sharing would only worsen our plight. Buddha replied, the mind believes in scarcity where the heart fears loss. Yet, in generosity, abundance is revealed to us. A farmer named Cassie approached, his clothes worn, his hands calloused, reflecting years of tireless labor under the blazing sun. Buddha, Cassie began, his voice trembling, I toil day and night, yet I barely earn enough to sustain my hungry family. Buddha's voice, gentle yet unwavering, continued to guide them toward a life where unity illuminated the path to true prosperity. The disciples bowed respectfully, their hearts brimming with gratitude, ready to carry forth the wisdom of the Buddha's teachings. The villagers, once bound by fear, began to share their meager resources, discovering an unexpected spirit of abundance within them. Buddha said, money and possessions are tools, neither good nor evil. Cassie, Buddha began, a farmer may possess no granary, yet he carries the seeds of abundance within his grateful heart. The disciples watched intently, their expressions reflecting the universal relevance of Buddha's teachings in the lives of all gathered. Imagine two men, Buddha said, one with a full pot of honey, anxious it might spill, another with but a drop. He continued, his voice steady yet imbued with the profound kindness that marked every syllable spoken in his teachings. The man with a drop, Buddha said, savors its sweetness, grateful for the moment, finding contentment despite his modest portion. Cassie nodded slightly, the imagery resonating within him, like the first rays of sunlight piercing the mist of morning doubt. As the crowd shared their offerings, Buddha said, the act of giving opens the heart, creating freedom and harmony in the community. Later, under the moonlight, Buddha spoke to his disciples, reflecting on the villagers' transformation through acts of kindness and sharing. Gratitude reveals these blessings, however small, as treasures. Cassie exhaled deeply, his mind unraveling the intricate wisdom Buddha so effortlessly wove into words and vivid metaphors. Blessed One, Cassie said, I find it difficult to feel gratitude amidst the ceaseless struggles that seem to overwhelm my days. Buddha gestured toward the leaves above, their rustling a reminder of life's constant movement and the lessons it carried. Even in struggle, Buddha said, the leaves dance, the wind moves, and life continues. Gratitude begins in recognizing this truth. A woman, holding her child, said tearfully, Master, we thought we were abandoned, but your presence has brought light into our darkness. Buddha said gently, you are never abandoned, for generosity and compassion are always within you. awaiting your courage to awaken them. Start small. Cassie, Buddha advised. Even a single seed, when nurtured, can yield a forest. Gratitude grows in the smallest acts. The banyan tree swayed gently, its branches seeming to echo the wisdom shared beneath its sprawling canopy of shade. Buddha, Cassie said, his voice strengthening, I worry my struggles might make me less deserving of contentment than those who prosper. Buddha regarded Cassie with a profound stillness that spoke volumes, his eyes reflecting the interconnectedness of all beings. Contentment does not discriminate, Buddha replied, nor does it wait for prosperity. It thrives in humility and the recognition of impermanence. The disciples murmured among themselves, the teachings weaving threads of unity and understanding into the fabric of their gathered community. Cassie, Buddha said, even a struggling farmer can be rich in spirit if his heart is open to wisdom and gratitude. Cassie nodded slowly, the truth resonating deeply within him, stirring a transformation that had long awaited its moment of awakening. So, too, must we balance our inner and outer lives, another disciple said. Master, some renounce wealth entirely to pursue enlightenment. Should we abandon material needs to achieve spiritual growth? Buddha replied, renunciation is one path, but for many, mindful living within the world brings greater harmony and understanding of life. He added, excess and deprivation both create suffering. But blessed one, Cassie asked, what can I share when my hands are empty and my family is constantly in need? Buddha smiled gently, his calm expression carrying a wisdom deeper than words, his silence offering room for reflection. Share your kindness, Buddha replied. Your wisdom, your patience, and your love. If the strings were too tight, they snapped, but if the strings were too loose, they produced no sound. Cassie, Buddha said, true prosperity is not what you keep for yourself, but what you give to uplift others in need. The farmer lowered his head, his thoughts shifting, his heart no longer heavy with despair but blossoming with gratitude and resolve. A villager approached Buddha, offering fruit and seeking guidance, asking, Master, how do we know when we have enough in life? Buddha said, mindfulness reveals our needs. Ask yourself, does this serve my peace and purpose? Simplicity often brings clarity and joy. The disciples turned to Buddha, their questions forming, their hearts yearning for further wisdom to guide their paths ahead. Buddha, one disciple asked, how can we support those like Cassie, who struggle but seek the path to contentment and wisdom? Buddha gazed at the disciple, his expression serene, his presence embodying the teachings he now prepared to share further. When success flows from compassion and serves the greater good, it becomes a path to liberation, he added, like the river nourishing all it touches. Let your success bring light and life, not greed or selfishness. Another day, another chance, Buddha said, to nurture gratitude, embrace generosity, and find peace within the impermanence of existence. The disciples bowed their heads. The wisdom shared a guiding light that transcended the boundaries of time and circumstance. The sun dipped below the horizon, its fading light a metaphor for the impermanence Buddha so often spoke of wisely. The farmer Cassie departed, his steps lighter, his heart no longer burdened but blooming with the seeds of profound transformation. Buddha sat in silence, the eternal truth of his teachings rippling outward like waves upon the vast ocean of existence. Another day, another gathering. Buddha sat under the banyan tree, his calm presence a beacon of peace and wisdom. King Bimbisara approached, his royal robes shimmering, yet his face shadowed with unrest despite the opulence of his reign. Blessed One, Bimbisara began, I rule a prosperous kingdom, yet my heart is heavy, and my nights are plagued by unease. His people loved him not for his wealth but for his kindness and wisdom. which brought peace and prosperity to all. The disciples listened, imagining the wisdom of the king and drawing parallels to their own lives and choices about wealth and service. The king nodded slowly, his eyes searching Buddha's face for the wisdom he knew lay in the Blessed One's words. "I have everything," Bimbisara said, his voice trembling, "yet I feel as though I possess nothing of real value or peace." Buddha gestured toward the horizon, where the sun hung low, casting golden light over the gathered disciples and royal entourage. "Like the setting sun," Buddha said, "worldly power and wealth fade. Your duties, performed mindfully, are a path to growth," he continued. "Balance does not mean abandoning responsibilities but embracing them with understanding, compassion, and detachment from selfish desires." "Blessed One," the king asked, "if I relinquish attachment, will I not risk losing the very order I strive to maintain?" Buddha smiled faintly, his stillness a testament to the balance and clarity that his teachings brought to troubled hearts. "Bimbisara," Buddha said, "to relinquish attachment is not to abandon responsibility but to lead with compassion, wisdom, and humility. Do not let it chain your heart to suffering." The night fell, and under the starlit sky, Buddha rested by the river while his disciples reflected on the day's teachings. "Over time, the fruit rots, and the tree itself withers," he continued, his voice steady yet imbued with kindness, as if each word carried the possibility of liberation for all listeners. Instead, Buddha said, "A tree that gives its fruit freely sows seeds, ensuring not just its survival but a flourishing forest." The disciples watched intently, their expressions reflecting the resonance of Buddha's words with the universal struggles of all beings. "Bimbisara," Buddha said, "your wealth and power are tools. Use them wisely, with compassion, to uplift and serve your subjects." Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video. True strength, Buddha said, is not in dominance but in the courage to lead with wisdom, kindness, and selflessness. Bimbisara nodded slowly, his thoughts shifting like the sands of a riverbank reshaped by the gentle flow of eternal wisdom. Observe your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions without judgment. Let them flow. Bimbisara, Buddha said, control is an illusion, like gripping water. The tighter you hold, the more it slips away. Buddha nodded warmly. Each reflection plants seeds of transformation. Nurture them with patience and gratitude. Sacrifice the illusion of permanence, Buddha replied, and embrace impermanence as a teacher. In letting go, you will find true freedom. Bimbisara inhaled deeply, his mind piecing together the intricate tapestry of wisdom Buddha wove with every word and gesture. How do I begin this path? Blessed One, the king asked, when my duties and attachments seem so deeply intertwined. Buddha smiled gently, the gesture radiating a sense of peace that seemed to dissolve the complexity of the question itself. Begin with gratitude, Buddha said, and share your abundance with those less fortunate. In giving, you cultivate freedom and joy. Sada sat by the stream, his fingers dipping into its cool waters, seeking inspiration and solace from the endless flow. The stream seemed to whisper its wisdom to him, its gentle melody resonating with Buddha's teachings shared moments ago. Led by example, and inspire others to follow the path, the banyan tree swayed gently, its branches seeming to echo the timeless truth unfolding beneath its ancient canopy of shade. Bimbisara, Buddha said, your legacy will not be the wealth you amassed, but the lives you touched with wisdom and compassion. The king lowered his head, his thoughts aligning with the profound teachings, his heart lightened by the prospect of transformation. The moon rose higher, its glow enveloping the gardens in soft silver light, a quiet beauty reflecting impermanence and transformation. Sada voiced his gratitude with trembling words, saying, "Master, your teachings have illuminated my soul." Every act of generosity, Buddha said, is a seed sown in the soil of shared humanity, yielding a harvest of lasting peace. The disciples bowed their heads, their hearts moved by the wisdom shared, their spirits united in the common pursuit of enlightenment. Liberation is within reach for all who seek it earnestly. Night cloaked the gardens, its peace undisturbed as Jetavana stood as a sanctuary for truth, wisdom, and enlightenment. The sun dipped below the horizon, its fading light a metaphor for the impermanence Buddha so often spoke of with wisdom. The royal entourage departed, their steps lighter, their hearts carrying the seeds of profound transformation sown by Buddha's teachings. The disciples turned to Buddha, their faces illuminated by a serene understanding, the wisdom shared resonating deeply within them. "Buddha," one disciple asked, "can a king truly lead without attachment, when the world often demands control and certainty from rulers?" Buddha gazed at the disciple, his expression reflecting the boundless patience and compassion that marked his teachings at every turn. "Even a king," Buddha said, "can walk the path of enlightenment, for the journey begins within and is open to all." The disciples sat in silence, their thoughts a reflection of the serene wisdom they had just witnessed and absorbed under the tree. "What role does acceptance play in lessening suffering?" I asked. Considering the tension between resistance and surrender, "Acceptance dissolves resistance," Buddha replied, revealing clarity within the storm, and guiding the heart to peace and understanding. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.